ちは、皆さん。I'm Great Oka Unite Empire。今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアのちょっと応援してくれるってよ。みんな、ブローキンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
Ladies and all right, how about now? I do apologize about that. So, welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas. This is episode number 42. I am here with our co-host, Rome. Normally, I would be asking him how he is doing tonight, but we already know. Let me make sure about this audio here, because
Big T saying again, no sound.
That's never an issue with us. What's going on?
Oh, I think Big T hears us now. Saying perfect.
Saying perfect. All right. Thank you a lot, Big T, for catching that for us. Do apologize for the mix-up, but I'll catch that in editing before we put it on Spotify. So just to get right to it, guys, CM Punk announces that he has a broken bone in one of his feet. It may be a couple of bones. We don't know. He was plural one time. He was singular another time. So only time will tell, and probably Twitter will advise us of what exactly is broken. Now, it was a little confusing at first when we went to commercial. It seemed like he was going to be relinquishing that title. But right after that, they kind of announced that there was going to be an interim championship between the number one contender, Jon Moxley, and the winner of a battle royale that we will get next Wednesday on Dynamite. Did I catch that part correct?
Yeah, you did. Punk did talk about in the promo that he wasn't relinquishing, and did imply an interim though.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Obviously we're gonna talk about all of Rampage tonight. I don't have a lot of notes. About an hour and a half before the show went live, CM Punk tweeted about this announcement regarding the AEW Championship in his career. I mean, obviously, when you see a tweet like that, it's never anything good. And I instantly started dreading this episode of Rampage. This was my least anticipated episode of AEW, of anything AEW, probably ever. I didn't want to watch this show, but obviously we have to. I mean, number one, it's not fair to the other talent, and number two, we're going to do a podcast about it. And
we didn't feel that way until Punk made his tweet, just to be clear, right? Like, you still wanted to watch this before that, right?
Oh yeah, this isn't a detriment. Okay, so here's the thing. We've talked about it. I'm very biased. CM Punk is my favorite wrestler of all time, and I'm extremely upset for him as a performer, as a person, and also myself as a fan. So, like, when this tweet comes out, like, obviously I'm excited for Young Bucks, Young Bucks and Lucha Bros. Of course I'm excited. Like, I can't think of any serious pro wrestling fan that wouldn't be excited for it. But I mean, man, that tweet just deflates everything. Like, I understand like how they did it and how they had to do it. Um, and like, man, I'm sorry to Scorpio Sky and Dante Martin, but I
Yeah.
didn't watch that match. Like, if you watched it, Jeff, and you want to talk about it, that's great. I didn't watch it. I'm fully gonna admit to that. I didn't want to. I wanted to turn the TV off and go to bed at that point.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
not.
you, man. I feel you.
But
Um,
CM Punk comes out, and clearly he looks like he has bags under his eyes. Looks like he's been
yeah.
crying backstage. And again, it's heartbreaking, man. And like we like, I'm glass half empty right now because we need to be glass half full. Punk made it clear, and Tony Khan's made it clear that he's not relinquishing the title. He's the interim, like he's the champion. There's an interim champion, which should tell you that whatever this surgery is, it can't be super severe. Because I can't imagine CM Punk missing like a year and them having an interim champion for a year. I think that would be a bit much.
No,
Um,
I'm imagining he's just got one of those bones on the top of his foot broken.
yeah,
They could easily shove a plate in there, screw it in, and I'd give it a couple of months, maybe. You know what I mean? But at his age right now, we'd have to see if he's at that age where he still heals. Like Bobby Lashley healed in freaking 2-3 weeks, was crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
but I think he'll be back sooner than later. They wouldn't have done this interim thing if it was going to be a super long time. So
Yeah,
hopefully we'll
and
get him
again,
back.
that's trying to be optimistic. That's trying to be glass half full. But like, man, like
Yeah.
kind of like what Big T in the chat said. Right after CM Punk spoke, he turned it off. It sucks, and again, it's
Yeah.
heartbreaking, man. Like, I don't. I mean, again, I have some notes, and we're gonna talk about everything that happened on the show again, minus
Yeah.
the main event. But like, again, for me, this was like my least anticipated episode of anything AEW ever because of that tweet. Because
Yeah.
I didn't fully enjoy the opening match, which was an excellent match. I didn't
Oh.
enjoy the House of Black promo as much, which was also an excellent promo. It was just I was fretting and I was dreading the CM Punk promo, and then after the CM Punk promo, I don't have anything to say. Like
Dude, I even said
sorry,
to
go.
the wife while he was speaking, I was like, I bet you Rome is devastated right now. And she was like, I know.
I am. I absolutely am, and I don't mind being like a crying mark on the internet. That's just yeah. I'm absolutely devastated. He's my favorite wrestler, and obviously, like you said, he is a little bit older, so we don't have as much time as I would like. And obviously, with the older age, you never know how the injuries shake out. Big T in the chat saying Wrestling Inc. is officially announcing he vacated the championship. No, during the end of Rampage, they clarified that they're crowning an interim champion,
Yeah.
and he's not vacating the championship.
There's so many reports, but the last thing that they said on the show was interim championship Moxley versus the winner of the Battle Royale. So until I
Yes.
see it from Tony Khan himself, that's when I'll believe it. Whatever is going to happen.
Yeah, in hindsight, I'm a little, not a little. I'm bummed out. I think that this was
How can you
a
not
great.
be?
And here's the other thing now, because now I'm like retroactively just really down on this whole week of AEW because like while the MJF promo was excellent, um, it's still like kind of like it's kind of like a downer of a promo. You know what I mean? Because he's one of the best, and he's talking about how he doesn't want to be in AEW. So like I'm like obviously I'm not like down on AEW, but I'm super
Like,
bummed out this
no.
week. I'm super bummed out this week. It's it's like MJF cursing AEW out how he doesn't want to be here, which again I do believe is a work. And then we get CM Punker, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm ready to call it a week for AEW. I'm glad there's no
Yeah.
like shows this weekend because I just want to kind of like kind of get back. So yeah, this
On a cool
sucks.
note, real fast, Snorlax has a power meter now, so now Snorlax can read the power of his enemies.
I see that. And what's gonna really suck. You know what? Because I know we talked about this on the last episode. Bray Wyatt's gonna be at Hell in a Cell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's just gonna be like, man, just fuck this week. Just fuck this week into the sun, and just nuke the whole week. Because like, oh my god, yeah, again, awful. Like I don't mind being being a crying wrestling mark on the internet. Like I'm upset. I'm upset for myself as a fan, but I'm upset for him too, because like as like a fan of his, like this is so important to him. This whole thing was important to him. It meant the world to him. And you could see he probably hadn't slept since Wednesday. That's how he looked. He looked like he hadn't slept since Wednesday.
Yeah, and me going to Forbidden Door, I was all excited to see Punk Tanahashi, and
Yeah.
his foot was broken before they announced that. I mean, obviously he didn't know it was broken, I guess, because it happened in that match, I think.
Yeah. Well, so people are speculating that he, and I believe it was speculated in the chat by someone. I'm sorry I didn't catch who said it exactly, but it was speculated that when he dived off the stage is when he got hurt. I don't think so, because the way he dived, he never really landed.
No,
At
some
least from
people
what
said
I
it
saw,
was.
he never landed on his legs. He more so landed on his guardrail. Like maybe if he like tore like something like in his upper leg, like his calf, maybe, but like it just didn't look like that from there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what it was. I wish he had come out in a boot or something, so we had a little bit more of an idea what it was. But
I think personally, that he got hurt when he jumped off the top rope. Like if you're asking me as a fan,
yeah,
looking back on the match and just everything he did, I think when he jumped and he landed, I think he probably something gave way there.
yeah, I heard a couple people say it was towards the end of the match, but it might be hard to actually pinpoint when it happened if it's just one of those bones on the top of the foot.
Oh yeah, Big T in the chat talking about how he's deflated. AEW is coming to
dude.
his hometown next week.
You
And like,
can
and
hear.
here's the thing, right? Like, I don't. Again, I'm mad at myself for feeling as down as I am, because this is not an issue, in the grand scheme of things. AEW is a super talented company.
Yeah,
It's the most stacked roster in wrestling history, in my opinion. Like they're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Again, it's just another guy goes down and they'll be fine. It's the same thing when Kenny Omega got left. You know what I mean? It's like they'll figure it out and they'll be fine. But like, man, again, me selfishly, this podcast is completely me being selfish.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
and
sure you can
it's
hear
not
it.
fair to anyone else on this card. It's not fair to anyone else in the company. But
Yeah, you could hear it in the tone of our voices. Like I can already hear it. It's just a completely different tone tonight, man. Like
yeah, and I appreciate that in the chat, Big T. Waited 7 years for the guy, and I'm gonna wait for him again. I'll
Yeah.
wait for him as long as he needs, get healthy and
Yeah, show me fucking. I don't know. It might be too soon, but I was gonna say show me Max as the Joker in that battle royale if they do some sort of casino type battle royale. I don't know how it's gonna work, but
honestly, completely honest, I don't care what the plan with MJF was. I would give MJF the championship.
that's
I
what I'm
would
saying.
absolutely give fucking Maxwell Jacob Friedman the championship
Yeah.
on Wednesday. Put him in the battle royale. Have him enter last. Have it seem like stack this. Like I want this battle royale to be stacked. Like
yeah.
I'm saying, put Danielson, Kingston, Jericho, put everybody in this battle royale, and then have Maxwell Jacob Friedman come out. Have MJF come out at the end, and then have him beat Mox. That's what you should do. Like I'm sure, like I know AEW does long-term storytelling, and but like I don't know. I need something to feel better about this with, you know what I mean? And
Absolutely, yeah.
as I love Mox, I don't want to see I don't want to see Mox right now with the belt. Again, love Mox. I mean, maybe Danielson. Okay, if Ryan Danielson were to win the interim championship, I'd be happy with that. That would also make me happy. But those are the two guys who I would give it to right now. I would give it to MJF, or I would give it to Danielson.
Yeah, I mean Punk named Danielson. That's one of them. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started here on the review. I'm sure we'll get back into talking about this more when it comes up to it. So we started off with the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers tonight, man. This match was freaking amazing. These dudes never cease to amaze me. They have a banger every single time they're in the ring together. And both of these teams wanted to put on a really good show. The Young Bucks, they're from LA. Lucha Brothers, I don't think they're from LA, but that's kind of like their home in America. This was just such a good match, man.
Yeah, it again, it's a shame because this was such a fucking good match. This was an excellent match. We actually have a friend of the wife's was visiting out of town, and I was talking to him earlier. He watched Rampage with us tonight,
Oh,
and
nice.
it was funny because he hadn't watched wrestling in like 15 years, and I was kind of talking to him about some stuff. I was telling him about the Acclaim that I mentioned, Billy Gunn. And he's like, "Oh, I know Billy Gunn," because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
watched it like like 15, 20 years ago, whatever it was. So like he's here visiting, so he's like, oh yeah, we'll watch it, sure.
Nice.
Um, and so I'll try to sprinkle in some of the comments that he made that I want to share.
Oh, okay, cool.
Um, he seemed to be really impressed with the Lucha Bros. He says he likes the kind of the luchadors and stuff like that. So, um, that was cool. But yeah, no, this is an excellent match. And I really love the mask ending. I
Oh,
really do. Like that ending where Matt just pulls Penta's mask off. Like what a heel move. Like it was just it's really good. It's
yeah.
excellent, you know.
Now, I love how the announce team pointed out that in Mexico in AAA, that's a disqualification.
Yep.
And they were like, but not here in the United States. Like, I really enjoyed that. So I hope that that foreshadows something in the future where we get an AEW event in Mexico, possibly, and you know, something like that comes up as part of the match.
Possibly. I mean, I think it was more so just done to kind of elaborate as to how much of a heel move it is. Um,
Yeah, I
I think
got
that
you.
that's definitely kind of more so why they do it because the average viewer might be like, oh, so he took his mask off, whatever. Like people might not know that in luchador, in lucha libre and Mexican wrestling, that's like a cardinal sin taking your mask off.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of had to make sure that people who might not know understood that.
Yeah, I agree. So at the beginning of this match, they did their whole Cero Miedo versus the Elite, shoving their hands in each other's faces with Penta and Matt Jackson. The Cero Miedo from the crowd was way louder than the Elite chant was. I was surprised. Being the Bucks' backyard, the Lucha Brothers had this one. They had the crowd well in hand for this one.
Yeah, this is just a side note, but I would definitely love to see Rampage be live more often.
Yeah.
I know that the logistics of it might be kind of difficult, or maybe it's not worth the cost, but I mean, I would definitely
Dude, I have
these
to be
live
honest.
rampages are just bangers.
I have to be honest,
Every
there I don't notice a difference. I only think there's a difference because like we know sometimes like I don't
Nah, man,
know.
it's the crowd, man. The crowd just seems
Yeah.
so into it, and
Okay.
also like the other thing that you got to keep like I
That
feel
makes
like
sense.
these rampages, like even if you don't like seek out spoilers, there's just a vibe to it that like I don't know, like it's the same reason Raw and SmackDown go live. Period. It's the same reason Dynamite goes live.
Yeah.
Live wrestling is just better. It's
You're
just
you're right actually. The crowd definitely acts different. I was thinking like the way that the show itself goes through. I don't notice like the show itself, but the crowd is definitely hotter for the live ones. Yeah.
well, the other thing the live rampages do is they kind of slow down and they kind of breathe. So it's like you don't get a lot out of it in terms of it's quality over quantity. Like
Yeah.
when they do a taped rampage, our notes are like 14 segments, 13 segments,
Yep.
12 segments in an hour. Here
This
we
was
had
like
six.
5.
This was six. It was
Yeah.
six. Um, I mean, I didn't write anything down for the sixth one, but there was six of them. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I would like to see them do the live rampages more. I would still push for a 2 hour rampage. I would say do 7 to 9 on Friday nights. Like that's what I would do. Like if I had a say in it, I would have Rampage. I like that 7 o'clock time. I think that's a sweet spot. And then I would do 7 to 9 so you can get 2 hours in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um so a couple of spots in this match. Phoenix basically took out everybody with this crazy corkscrew dive off the top rope to the outside. And he landed directly on Penta. It was like Penta in the middle, and Matt and Nick Jackson were on his left and right. And he basically just smashed all three of them. But it looked like Penta took the worst of that one. That one was pretty good. Another spot that I put down was during the picture in picture, there was that huge like it was a Hurricane Rana and an arm drag at the same time from
Mm.
I think it was Nick Jackson to both Penta and Phoenix. That was really awesome. the ending to this, man, just everybody hitting their moves, hitting their spots, big time frog splash onto the knees, and like you said, the Bucks pulled off Penta's mask. Of course, all he could do was cover his face. He got kicked out of the ring, and Meltzer driver to Fenix, and 1, 2, 3. This was a great match. Just really,
this was
really
an excellent match. Like I feel really bad for everyone on this card because there's some really good things about this show and some real positives.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, like I wish this match would have. I know Tony Khan can't like retroactively, and he wouldn't like false advertise matches, change matches. But I would put this. Part of me would be like, man, move this match to Wednesday. Give it some time, like to breathe. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you do. Obviously, they don't want to do that because AEW when they advertise a match, they do it. But it's like, man.
Yeah. But I thought this was great. Even with the CM Punk stuff, I'm not changing the thumbnail. Athena deserves her shining moment tonight. That match was incredible, which we'll get to here in 1 second. So after the Bucks and Lucha Brothers match, we had a quick, really quick match with Hobbs and Starks versus a couple of jobbers that I don't even think they said their names. If they did, I did not catch them.
No, they never said their names.
Yeah, never said their names. Just squashed them within a minute, and that's it. We get next Athena's in-ring debut for AEW and against Kiera Hogan, one of the baddies of Jade Cargill's faction. This match was incredible. Athena looked so good. And I said halfway through the match, I was like, she's putting half of this roster on notice, or this entire roster on notice. Like, y'all better get to her level, or you're going to get left behind and pushed over to Ring of Honor or something, because her level of wrestling tonight was just 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I thought this was an awesome debut. I loved her entrance. I loved the wings kind of going down. I thought that was really dope. Thought that was really cool. The company that we had over and the wife both really liked Athena. I thought this was a really good match. I thought it was a really good debut on Athena's part. I didn't think Kiera Hogan did a very good job. She seemed kind of out of place.
Yeah.
At some points during the match, I felt like she could have been better.
Agreed. And that's where I think Athena just was like, well, just smashed her. You know what I mean? Every time she just blasted her with something.
Oh yeah, like the drop kick to her chest was just brutal. Like she ate that drop kick.
Dude, there was a couple of spots that I was just like, she just hit her with everything she had. Like that.
Yeah.
That was Joshi.
Jordan in the chat. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that was the American Joshi right there for sure. Yeah, were you gonna mention the Samoa Joe to play Sweet Tooth?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for that, dude.
Yep.
All right, so Athena had a really awesome spot in this one where Kiera Hogan hit her with an arm drag, and out of the arm drag, she did a front handspring cartwheel looking thing out of it and just kind of like, brushed off the shoulder. That was a really, really nice spot. I love that part. Athena hits her massive rotating stunner off the top rope. I'm not sure what she calls it nowadays, but that move just looks brutal. She basically does a Stone Cold Stunner after doing a front flip off of the top rope onto someone. It's brutal looking. 1, 2, 3 gets her first win in AEW. Basically challenges Jade Cargill to step in the ring, and Jade wanted none of it. So that's going to be an interesting feud. I do think Jade's going to win that one, and we'll go on to Chris Statlander. I do believe that's the idea here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. All right, next up, we had a really good House of Black promo with Julia Hart at the front of this promo. I thought she did great. I loved the passion in Aleister Black's, delivery this time. I haven't seen that from him before. That was really good.
Malachi Black.
Malachi, thank you. That's
okay.
weird.
Big T. Sorry, good.
I was going to say, I had no problems with his name for a while, and all of a sudden now I'm saying it again.
Big T in the chat saying she looked awesome tonight. Great match. Yeah, Tina looked awesome. I think I'm excited to see her get in the ring again. I think Kiera Hogan kind of dropped the ball tonight. she didn't seem like she was in the right place at the right time. You know, she kind of wasn't hitting her spots very well. Um,
Yeah.
I don't dislike Kiera Hogan, but I thought she could be better. But no, the House of Black promo, man, this was an excellent promo. I really love this segment. I think Julia Hart's going to be awesome in this faction.
Oh yeah.
It was an excellent promo.
I want to see her miss some more people, behind the ref's back, and that'd be nice. All right, and then next up was the dreaded moment of the night. I was really hoping after seeing Cash Wheeler's tweet, saying you better be talking about your Schwinn, but CM Punk comes out. It's obvious he is very, very upset. He's got bags underneath his eyes. He probably didn't sleep very well.
Yep.
He's essentially crying as he's trying to push out his promo and lets us know that one of the wheels has something broken. He didn't specify which leg, which foot, which ankle, whatever it may be. He did not specify, but one of his legs has something not not how it should be at the moment. He's going to require surgery. They did clarify by the end of the night that he is not relinquishing the title. It will be an interim title. John Moxley will face whoever wins a battle royale on Wednesday. We really, really, really hope that MJF is the winner of said battle royale. This would be great. I actually think this it's hard to say this, but I actually think this could make the storyline between the two of them even better, possibly down the line, where when CM Punk does come back, MJF has that interim title, and I can just imagine it now. One night, MJF standing there holding the belt up like I'm the best, and it, and then we hear so that face off would be great. Both of them holding the belts in each other's face.
Big T in the chat saying MJF wins the Battle Royal, faces Moxley, wins the interim championship. He doesn't let us forget about it when Punk comes back, ignite the feud between the two of them.
Exactly.
I completely agree. I mean, I said at the top of the show, like that's the direction I would go 100%. You gotta capitalize on every single negative that happens. That's just kind of the nature of wrestling, and that's just how it works. You got to bounce back, and I don't know who else you would bounce back with. I mean, clearly they have this storyline planned out with MJF where they're removing him from the shop, from his roster page. They unfollowed him on social media. They took him out of the opening and Rampage. Like they're doing everything that they can to kind of make the beef there, the feud there between him and Tony Khan seem legitimate. And I understand it, and I don't want to forego long-term storytelling for the sake of short-term storytelling. Obviously, I think the long-term storytelling is when wrestling's at its best. But no, I think you give the title to either MJF or to Bryan Danielson, and you let him do it. I mean, let's get Danielson versus Tanahashi, I guess, or maybe they do something else now because I don't know what they're gonna do at Forbidden Door. But yeah, no, I mean, just kind of to retread on the promo. I mean, like you said, he comes out and he said he's going to go to the wheels fall off and something's wrong with one of the wheels. And, he's Thomas Brooks in the chat. MJF would have to win if he faces CM Punk again. So I get it, but I would actually disagree with that in terms of the Punk comeback. And like, again, yeah, there's definitely bias there. I get it.
Yeah.
For me, but I think that it would make a lot of sense to have MJF lose to Punk. Actually, I could see that working. I could, because I always kind of envisioned. Admittedly, I always envisioned a heel CM Punk dropping the title to either Jungle Boy or Eddie Kingston. That's kind of how I always envisioned Punk's title reign ending. A big T in the chat. Imagine after winning the interim championship, it cuts to MJF with the belt in his hand out, and Tony Khan just writing him a check and a new contract. Maxwell smirks, grabs it, and walks away. Yeah, again, it's an excellent idea. I think that that's the way to do it, because I would do that. I would have MJF win the title, and then you could play it into a storyline, the new contract, where it's like Tony Khan has to pay the champion, because he can use the storyline and say, oh, I don't know how long CM Punk's going to be out, and right now MJF's the champion. I need to protect my company and protect my championship, and I
Yeah.
have to pay MJF. So that way you could even make it like MJF gets it what he wants, and he's a heel about it. He's like, you didn't want to pay me. Well, I'm your fucking champion now, so you better pay me, or I'm gonna walk out. And I can see the promo now. Like, you better pay me, or if I still have this championship come 2024, I am going to Monday nights, and I'm gonna have the AEW championships on Monday night, and I'll defend the title there. And then that's all you need. And then Tony Khan can sign him, and then we can make chicken salad out of chicken shit, as they say.
Yeah. Jordan says, please don't miss the step. Not sure I caught that.
Yeah. Winner of Battle Royale versus Mox isn't for the belt.
They said it was for the interim championship, didn't they?
Yeah, it's for the Battle Royale names the number one contender. Number one contender faces Mox.
Well, I haven't checked Twitter, so let's see if they're saying anything else, contrary afterwards. Let me take a quick gander.
Whoever faces Tanahashi at Forbidden Door is crown champ. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I would do that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Actually,
no.
I don't like there being a vacated championship going into the main event of Forbidden Door. I don't like that. I think that it's really obvious that Tanahashi would lose that match.
Yeah, let's see here. He will
I
be
get
back.
it.
Yeah, they didn't
because
tweet anything.
I'm sure Punk was supposed to defend the championship against Tanahashi, which is why they're doing that step. I don't know if I 100% like that though.
No, I don't see anything that they tweeted yet, but from what I took from it, Jordan, was that the winner of Mox versus the winner of the Battle Royale will get that belt, and then that person will be facing Tanahashi. You don't want to have no championship going into that match at Forbidden Door. That doesn't make any sense.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Yeah, I was too, but he could be right. He could totally be right.
No, Jordan's correct.
Okay.
He is correct. He sent us a picture of the thing. It says Battle Royale to kick off Dynamite. Winner will face number one contender Jon Moxley in the main event for the shot at the interim championship at Forbidden Door.
Okay.
Which would be against Tanahashi. So thank you, Jordan, for clearing that up. Again, I was not paying the most attention to the end of this show.
Yeah, he is correct. All right.
Yeah, Big T saying this situation should be left off of Forbidden Door. It's an AEW situation. Therefore, it should be handled on AEW programming, not a cross-branded promotion pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
1,000,000% agree with this. I mean, again, like, I understand the reasoning behind it because, Tanahashi was going to get a title shot. Clearly, that's where they were going. But yeah, I don't agree with this. I would have a champion crowned by Wednesday. I would not wait on that. I would have an interim champion ready to go.
Yeah, I don't like that. I hope they see that and they realize that they should have an actual champion going into that. They should just remove that wording of a shot at. It should be the interim champ.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to. And again, at the end of the day, it's fine. I mean, you got to make the best out of what you got right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like, man, oh God, I keep thinking about this.
I mean, I guess that makes it to where at Forbidden Door we will guarantee to have a new AEW, interim world champion. So.
Yeah, and again, like, let's be positive for a few minutes. I mean, let's try to at least. He didn't retire, which is great. Like, dude, I don't even know if I'd be in shape to do a podcast. I mean, you'd have to probably shove a camera in my face right now.
I would have imagined you skipped tonight if he if he retired.
Well, I don't know because again, like, it would have been too important to skip. But
True.
like I wouldn't talk. I would have pushed to not talk about anything else. I would have just been like, dude, let's just get on and let's talk about CM Punk and let's let people say what they want to say and we'll call it a day.
True.
But so he's not retiring, which is the most important thing. Well, number one, he's going to get healthy, and that's the most important thing.
Yes.
As upset as I am, I want him to be healthy. I don't want him to be in pain or be hurt or anything like that. So I want him to get well and do what he has to do. If he's going to be out for a year, again, I waited 7 years for the guy, and I'll wait another 7 years. I mean, obviously it's not going to be 7 years, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I'll take as long as he needs. If it means he can come back and we still get another like 2-3 years with him, I'm cool with that. And I feel like Punk is going to. I feel like this is one of those situations he's going to come back and better than he was. Um, I think he's going to kind of have that chip on his shoulder. That was the vibe I got, and I feel pretty confident that he'll bounce back and it'll be good.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the other positive thing is it's an interim champion, um, which really just leads me to believe that this is not like like an ACL type situation. It's more of a I don't know, maybe he's out like 3 months, 4 months, like hopefully. I mean, you never know. Some surgeries some surgeries you are back at it after 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and so we don't know. And hopefully he comes back soon and he comes back healthy and yeah.
Yeah, just what a depressing night, man. I had a feeling from the moment you texted that to me. I was like, no,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I was texting you. Normally, I don't text you during the show. I like
yeah,
to have our conversations for the podcast or the stream be very genuine. And that's the thing. A lot of people might not know. I will not text Jeff during shows. Like he texts me sometimes. I won't do it. I don't want to know
yeah,
what Jeff's thinking until we sit down and we do the pod. I don't want him to know what I'm thinking and vice versa. The conversations we have are 100% genuine with no planning going on. Maybe when we jump in the stream before we start, we're like, holy shit, or like, wow, what a great show. But like there's no conversation going on between the two of us. And I like it that way. I think it leads to the best the best product for everyone to listen to, the best content for everyone to listen to. And it's more fun to talk about it as opposed to texting about it.
yeah, for sure.
Um but like to not tonight. I texted you like 4 times. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
I was
sick to
actually
my
running
stomach.
5 minutes behind. I had just gotten home from dinner, so I was like ignoring my phone, and it was like, zzz, 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 zzz. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, something happened.
Yeah, I was sick to my stomach. I was like, this is
Yeah,
Big T in the chat. Emotions are definitely high in the wrestling reporting community right now. This is a huge blow for the summer of Punk. It
yeah,
is, and I mean, I I feel pretty confident also in this, and CM Punk kind of mentioned this in his promo. Um, I don't think that we might not get a summer of Punk this year, but I feel confident that we'll get something next year. I think that even Tony Khan, like CM Punk said, I was willing to drop the belt here tonight, and because there's so many talented guys that we could give it to, but Tony Khan said no, we're not doing that.
yeah.
So I mean, again, it's just a matter of patience, and like I said, I would wait. I would wait another 7 years. Like if you told me that like CM
Another
Punk got
7.
hurt and he's gonna be out, and then he's gonna come back, and even another 6 months, because again, we talked about it a lot. We talked about CM Punk a lot since he won the world championship. But like like when he came back in August, I was super grateful for it. I was just like as a fan, like obviously again, super happy for the guy. He loves what he does, and he's finally happy in pro wrestling, and I'm finally happy in pro wrestling, and like it was excellent, it was awesome, and it was a gift. It felt like extra. It's always felt like extra.
Yeah,
And like again, this is beating Hangman for the belt on Sunday, and everything it just still feels like extra. And like as someone who's honestly being spoiled, I'm being completely spoiled. Like it sucks, but like he'll come back, and we'll get back on the horse. Like he said, he's gonna keep going until he can't anymore. He's made it clear that that's what he wants to do, and clearly he still can. He just has to get right. So
yeah, and only wish the best for him. Wish him a speedy recovery. Hope he comes back looking better than he was. Um, so let's do a little fantasy booking here, like we were. So this battle royale, I want to see more than like 6 guys in this. I know sometimes their battle royales only have a few people in them, maybe 7 or 8. But I want to see
not
10 to
not
15 guys.
AEW,
What's that?
not AEW, not AEW. I've never
No?
seen AEW battle royal with less than 20.
I'm probably thinking of their ladder matches. Their ladder matches usually only have like 6 guys, right?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
that's
I've
what I was
never
thinking of.
seen.
Yeah, but I
I
want a
think you're
bunch of
thinking of.
guys in here. I want like everybody that we can imagine. We want Dante. We want Danielson. You
So
know,
here's where I'm at. I would go quality over quantity actually on this battle royale.
Okay.
I would not just throw everybody in there. I want it to be everybody in this ring could very theoretically win the title.
Okay.
Like, and I'm not even just saying I'm saying guys that aren't even ready yet. Like Jungle Boy should be in this match. You know, like someone who he's going to be a world champion someday. Jungle Boy should be in this match. Darby Allin should be in this match. Again, like Chris Jericho should be in this match. Eddie Kingston should be in
Yeah.
this match. Bryan Danielson hopefully is in this match.
Yeah.
MJF should be in this match. I would put every guy on this roster who you think is a viable world champion, either currently or in the future, should be in this match. But I wouldn't overdo it. I would not stack it like 20, 30 guys.
No, like I said, I'm looking 10 to 15. 15 is probably where I'm at. Like Big T said, 15 of the top guys. And everybody you just named is somebody that I would throw in there. Dante, I believe, has faced Kenny back in the day for the title. So, I mean, I think he should be in there too.
Sure, okay.
But yeah, between 10 and 15, once you get up into the 20s, that's too much. Yeah, I'm not into where it's just a big jumbled mess in the ring. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But I really want to see MJF in it. I don't know or care what their plans were, but I think this should definitely fast track an MJF title run. I think that would be absolutely great. Someone said in chat, have him come out before he walks to the ring, have Tony walk over to him with a clipboard, hand him the fucking check or, the contract, have him sign it, and then walk to the ring and win it. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, and then but also to be devil's advocate, I could also see the value again. So obviously, I'm arguing for MJF winning the title. I'm also really arguing for Bryan Danielson to win the title. I think that I could see the argument where MJF winning the title here can kind of sully his title win because he's not beating the champ for it necessarily.
True.
Which is why I would also Danielson's my 1B. MJF's the 1A, Danielson's the 1B. I mean, this is a guy that he's just, he's almost as over as CM Punk, obviously. He's in that upper status where, I mean, for me, he's a top 2 guy in the company. That's just my opinion. Bryan Danielson's the number 2, and it's very close. CM Punk for me 1, Danielson number 2. And I would put Danielson, I would put him in there. I would have him, because actually that would be a really cool match to get Danielson versus Moxley again, and you could you could run the angle where it's it's just two brothers, hey, we both want this. We'll bleed it together tonight again.
Wow. Have Danielson win that battle royale and then go up against Mox. Oh.
Yeah, I think you could definitely do that. And then again, a lot of people were pushing for Danielson Tanahashi, and that's going to be an excellent fucking wrestling match. And you have Bryan Danielson, because again, Bryan Danielson is a different situation than MJF. Bryan Danielson does not ever need to win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. He doesn't.
Big T, I thought of the exact same thing in my head. I was like, yo, they could do just every opponent Punk has had since he started. I literally was just thinking that. That's funny.
Yeah, that would be a cool thing. Jordan wants Tanahashi to take it back through the Forbidden Door. I don't know if I would go that way. I mean, I see the value of it, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, possibly. The thing is, I would expect them to trade wins. So at that point, then I would expect whoever faces Okada to beat Okada. That's what I would expect for their title.
That'd be crazy.
He hops the barricade, slides into the ring, and eliminates the guy. He'd be undeniable. Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, I think that there's a lot of smart things you can do. Focus on trios titles till Forbidden Door. Tanahashi champion versus Punk. Okay.
Yo, so imagine,
I agree to an extent, but
imagine that they did it in the order of Punk's opponents. You would get Wardlow in there right before. I think it'd be Dax and then MJF. But
possibly. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head.
Yeah, I forget the order, but there would definitely be a Wardlow confrontation in there. And for Max to take the title from Wardlow, that'd be another,
Yeah, but I think the argument's definitely there again for Bryan Danielson to also win the interim title. I think Bryan Danielson's a guy that doesn't feel the need to win the title. I mean, obviously, I'm sure the character in kayfabe wants to win the title, but Danielson's made it clear he just loves what he does and he loves wrestling. So I could see them. I could see this being the spot where you give Danielson that one title reign. You know what I mean? And like let him hold it till Punk gets back, and then CM Punk's return match is Danielson versus Punk. Um, those are the two things I would do. And I think that either of those are great ideas. That is making the best out of an awful, fucking god awful situation. Like
Yeah.
I'm so emotionally I'm probably not gonna do any wrestling tweets this week. There's not gonna be any wrestling Twitter. I mean, I might tweet still, but like, there's definitely no like. I'm gonna probably be off wrestling Twitter. I mean, that's not true because I'm gonna be on Twitter on Sunday night to see if Bray Wyatt goes to Hell in a Cell. Which, fuck me, dude. What an awful weekend. What an awful
All I can
weekend.
say is, Bray, I've been a fan of yours for so long, or Wyndham, I've been a fan of yours for a long time. Please don't make me start watching the E again. Please.
So I would say this, right? So like in terms of me as a wrestling fan, obviously we've talked about on the show, I was a WWE fan, stopped watching. They broke me. They made me completely hate wrestling and I was really out on it. But like, could you imagine like this would definitely hands down be the worst weekend of my time as a wrestling fan post WWE. Like this would just absolutely be the worst weekend for like I've ever had as an outside of WWE pro wrestling fan. It would just be like, oh, okay, well, how did your weekend start? Oh, well, CM Punk got hurt, he needs surgery, and he relinquished the title. He's my favorite. Oh, okay, and then what? Well, then Wyndham, Bray Wyatt, who's probably my all-time like easily top 5. Like currently in wrestling, I would say active roster top 3. It would be Punk, Danielson, and then Wyatt. Oh, they go. Then your third favorite is in the company that you don't feel good about watching because you can't stand the product and you feel insulted every time you turn it on. It's just like, man, just know like anyone who does watch Hell in a Cell or is on wrestling Twitter, like think of me if Bray Wyatt shows up at Hell in a Cell and just know I'm somewhere, just hand in my face, just like. Exactly. Yes. No. Yeah. Jordan won't watch. I like the intrigue is there. The intrigue is so there for Bray Wyatt. Like, and I want to support him, but like, I don't know. I don't think I can watch WWE no matter who's there, no matter what's going on over there.
Yeah, like
I don't think I can go back. Not anytime soon. Maybe someday. Maybe if like real change happens there and shit gets better. But I don't know when that would happen.
yeah, I can't say that I would actually like watch the entire Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, but I would definitely watch whatever segment with him involved. I'd be watching Twitter waiting for them to be like, Wyndham's coming. I'd be like, okay, click, turn it on.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Or
I
who
get
knows? If he makes the show good enough, I might actually do review on it. You never know. I might suffer through it, and we'll have another night of the week. I'm sure the wife will be thrilled with that.
I definitely won't be because
Yeah.
if you're gonna do a review, I'm gonna watch too.
Well, no, we could do where you don't watch, and I'll tell you what happened, and you can be like, "Wow, that's horrible,"
I guess. I mean, if that sounds fun to you, it doesn't sound fun to me. I
It's
love
up
doing
to
this
you.
podcast.
We'll see.
I love doing this podcast because it's fun to do. I don't love doing it for
some
the
of these
sake
other
of doing it.
some of these other podcasts I watch that are the biggest guys out there, they don't watch half the matches. They're like, "Oh, I didn't watch it. I just read it," and I'm like, "Come on, dude."
I guess, yeah, no, but like at the end of the day, like this podcast, at least for me, it's about talking about things that we love. And I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
we're not always 100% positive. If we don't like something, we're going to say it. We're definitely not. I would not consider either of us AEW homers. I mean, we're not going to like look at a bad match and say it's good.
Oh
But
no, absolutely not.
like again, like I'm not
Like,
gonna.
you called out Kira Hogan tonight, and I thought she had a decent match.
Exactly, Big T. I won't go back to the WWE. You can't make me. You can't. Like, I love my 88 to 96 WWF, but go to hell. Anything after, says Jordan.
Damn,
Yes,
Jordan's
exactly.
way back then. I think I quit in like 2012.
Oh yeah, Jordan got out early. Jordan's a smart man. This guy was like, I'm gone.
I came back for a couple years, and then they killed Wyndham, and then I was out again. I was like, yep, bye.
Yep. Like if the way someone could upset me in person.
Purple.
I don't want to use the word trigger, but just say Bray Wyatt versus Goldberg in Saudi Arabia, and I'm just like,
dude, I actually remember when we first started talking about that. I had forgotten about the match. It was like a repressed memory, dude. Like,
oh yeah, yeah. It's
just wanted to do a quick shout out real quick. We now have a merch store. Hopefully, there it is. It worked. I got my, what do you call that? In chat there, got the new bot, Nightbot. He is going to help us out. He got a couple of things you guys can type in to join the Discord. You could hit exclamation Discord. That way you could chat with us when we are not online doing the podcast. We got a couple of different chat rooms in there. Pretty fun times in the Discord. You can keep up with us with some other stuff in there as well. Also, the merch store. It's not just, Broken Tables podcast shirts. There's a really cool MJF shirt I made that's in there today. It says, "Fire me, you fucking Mark." There's none of our logos on there, so it's just the "Fire me, you effing Mark" on there. If you guys want to ever support the channel, that's probably the best way for you guys to do it. You guys will get some cool merch out of it, and it also helps us. So, yeah, man, this whole weekend, if Wyatt shows up, I am gonna be the saddest panda, but at the same time, I might actually be happy that just in the fact that he's back. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I can't. There's no way like I could be happy for the guy, like, because you talk about creative freedom and just being beaten down. Like, no, you can't. I can't sit here and feel good about Bray Wyatt going back. It's the same thing about Cody going back. Like, there's a difference between like guys going there to make money and guys that were just like really wronged by them going back there to make money.
yeah, there's no way he goes back without creative freedom. I don't believe he would go back.
So just real quick in the chat, just want to touch on it before it goes away. Wrestling Inc. Official CM Punk had walked out on Monday Night Raw before the show went live. I looked over to my grandmother. I've said I've been watching this since March 25th, 2001. I've seen enough.
Wow.
From Big T. Jordan in the chat saying I am an AEW sexual. I would agree with that. I fucks with that. I fucks with that. Big T again, I understand money talks, but this would be the biggest slap in his face because I guarantee you he'll be there for a month and he's going to be more miserable than before he left. I agree. And again, that's why it doesn't make sense for him to go back to WWE. I think that this is a guy who just constantly tried to reinvent himself and did everything that company asked him to do. And at every turn, like, we talk about Ruby Soho, not getting this big win, and Bray Wyatt was that too, like a fucking T. Like, I don't know how, like, he was that good that I was still invested in this guy. This guy lost every single pay-per-view match he ever had, minus I think the Elimination Chamber where he won the title. And the whole point of him winning the title was to drop it to Randy Orton a month later at WrestleMania. Like, it's just, no, man, it's just, I don't know why you'd go back. I mean, I'm sure the money may be great. Maybe they promise him something, but I don't know. It just, there's something that's really slimy about it. It's like, it'd be like if somebody, I don't know, I don't want to make like too extreme of a comparison, but it would be like if somebody, like, I don't know, like destroyed your car, right? If someone like took a bat to your car and just like completely fucking wrecked it. And you had to get a whole new car. And then like the next, like a few weeks later, a month later, he was like, "Hey man, you want to go hang out?" And you're just like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Like, I don't know, that guy kind of just destroyed my fucking car. I would not spend any time with this individual. Like, Big T said he should debut in the Battle Royal this Wednesday. That would be, actually, that would be the third possible scenario that I would be very happy in. Bring Wyndham in and make him the interim champion. Okay. All right, you got me. I'm gonna bite on that one too.
I mean, yeah. So, oh jeez, this battle royale, man, is very interesting. They could do a lot of things with this. This could end up being really cool. Might actually help in some way. Say Wardlow's in there, right? And we think the battle royale's over. Wardlow's standing tall, nobody left in the ring, and then all of a sudden MJF slips in.
So I'm gonna open up I want to see the AEW roster real quick. I want to see who they're putting in this battle royal. Let's see what we got here. Okay, Jungle Boy. I think. Well, that's the champions first. Let me try to get a. Okay, let's see. Adam Cole will be in it. So Adam Page is wrestling. He's wrestling somebody on Dynamite. So I don't know if he's gonna be in the. He's wrestling David Finlay on Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Finlay's son.
I don't know if Hangman will be in. I don't know if Hangman's going to be in the Battle Royale unless he's doing double duty. I mean,
he can easily do it.
He could. Let's
Easy.
see. Who else do we have on this roster? Andrade's out still with the wedding.
He shouldn't still be out with his wedding unless he went to like freaking
I think the
crazy
argument's
honeymoon or
there.
something, which probably.
Bryan
Yeah.
Danielson, I put Danielson out there. Jericho, I'd put out there. Honestly, I would put Christian Cage out there, just because of.
Jericho's having
Uh,
that hair versus hair match with Ortiz, isn't he?
no, that's not next week. That's in 2 weeks.
That's in 2 weeks. Okay.
It's in 2
Then
weeks.
yeah, put him in there.
I
Put
just
him
see
and
CM
Ortiz
Punk.
in there.
I see CM Punk on the roster page. It makes me sad. Isn't it funny? Actually, I never noticed this, but CM Punk is right next to Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
That's that's
There.
amazing.
Who was it that was there before? There was somebody in between them, and then that person left.
Jordan, I believe it's just going to be a regular battle royal. I don't think it's going to be. I actually agree with Big T. I wouldn't mind a few New Japan guys being in the battle royale either. I think
That's a
that
really
would
good
be.
idea.
Yeah, I mean, but I would put like top New Japan guys like Okada, Tanahashi. Like make this a really. This should be the most stacked battle royale in AEW history. Like I don't want it to be like I don't know. I'm just gonna look at this list real quick of somebody who. Oh wow, there's a lot of good people on this roster. Like I wouldn't put Fuego del Sol on the battle royal. You know what I mean? I
No.
wouldn't put Griff Garrison or Isaiah Cassidy or like.
You would put Malachi Black though. I'll put him in
I
there.
absolutely would put Malachi Black on there.
Hell yeah.
Hold on.
Who else we got? Shit, I'd put all three of the dudes from the House of Black in there. Make it interesting, you know.
I would, yeah. I closed the roster, but like, yeah, there's so many guys I'd put in there, but
This is the
yeah, man,
advantage they have. You know, people say he had too many people on this roster, but this is where it's coming in handy, man. Injuries happen, and look what's gonna happen when Roman's gone. What happens if Roman disappeared today? They got Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, who's lost 20 matches in a row to Cody. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's again like that's why we're as AEW fans, we're extremely lucky. Yeah, as Jordan says it right. There's no jobbers on this roster. Anybody could. No JD Drake. Yeah, right.
yeah,
I
no.
don't know if he's referring to the Battle Royale. Okay, he's referring to the Battle Royale because he said no QT. Exactly. Yeah, just legitimate main event stars
Yeah.
on the Battle Royale. But again, like this is why it's such a gift that AEW's roster is so stacked because like
Yo,
we don't have we're about to be down CM Punk. We're about to be down Kenny. We're not be about to be. We're down Kenny Omega. You know what I mean? Like we have guys on the shelf, like top
Yep.
guys, top 5 in the company, and we're still like, okay, well, there's enough talent here to make it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like they just wrote Samoa Joe off TV. If WWE did that, they would have no answer for when they wrote Samoa Joe off TV. Like
They
didn't
didn't.
have anyone.
They didn't.
Didn't.
Remember,
Yeah.
they had him sit there in
Yeah.
his room, and he was like, I'm injured. I'm relinquishing my title." We were like, "What?"
Yeah, that was something else.
But yeah, no jobbers. I completely agree with that. For some reason, right now, Kaze ni Nare is stuck in my head, so I gotta say, put Minoru Suzuki in there. You know, if we're gonna put a couple NJPW guys, he's got to be one of them.
I'd call Jonathan Gresham. Be like, hey, what are you doing?
Oh yeah,
You're contracted with us.
absolutely. Nice call. I didn't even
again,
think about the Ring of Honor guys.
And again, I completely agree with Big T in the chat. As much as he loves Dan, as much as he loves him, no Danhausen. There should be no comedic aspect of this battle royale whatsoever, unless a possible screw job by MJF. This needs to be business first and foremost. And again, I
Agree.
100% agree with him. I mean, this needs to be a huge battle royale. Now that being said, Tony Khan has to book a whole show, and I don't think he might not want to blow his entire star power on one match of the show. So, like, I'm not gonna be disappointed if there's like a Danhausen in the match or something like that. But excuse me, I don't know. I would try to keep it as star powered as possible.
Now, this might be controversial here. You could put Hook in here and bring Danhausen to the ring with him, but do not put Danhausen in the match.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's different.
You know.
But I mean I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna put in the battle royale. That admittedly I do not know. I would stack it as best I could.
Yeah.
They
I
did
actually
not
think
announce.
I actually think
Sorry,
Hook's a
guys.
good idea for this now that I think
Oh yeah,
about it, because
absolutely.
even if he gets eliminated, that's not losing a match, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's what they did with MJF too. MJF technically hadn't lost a singles match, even though he lost like a battle royale or two.
Yeah.
Um, well, this is the other thing. Usually we do a weekly preview. We don't have anything really except for the fact that there's a battle royale and that they're facing Moxley in the main event. And we have Adam Page versus David Finlay, and that's all we got right now. Um, so it's kind of hard to gauge the battle royale. I don't know if we're gonna find out tonight who's gonna be in the battle royale. Um, I would like to know as soon as possible. I mean, if Tony Khan figures it out, I would like for him to. I would make this a top priority if I was him. I wouldn't leave Ontario, California until I had this match planned out. At least you know.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
Again, Big T. I agree with Hook. No cursing anybody. Yeah, I agree. I would. This should be a very serious match, especially because the winner is going to go to face Mox in the main event.
Yeah. And I'm kind of trying to figure out what they're doing with this whole ex WWE guys thing, because right after that MJF promo where he's like, "What about if I was a ex WWE guy?" And then right after that was a match between two ex WWE guys, and now we have John Moxley guaranteed to go up against whoever wins this battle royale. So Moxley's an ex WWE guy. So, like, let's say, for instance, if Danielson wins this, then we got two ex WWE guys that may become champion. And it's just certain things that make me think it could go this way or that way or this way. And that's what I love about AEW, man. Just Tony, I almost can never figure out what he's doing unless it's just one of those obvious things that needs to happen. But I almost never can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it again, like we're really lucky to have this roster be what it is because there's so much unpredictability and there's easily six or seven guys who could be the top guy. It's
Yeah.
it's really astounding and it's just completely insane. Big T in the chat, asking what our thoughts are on Jericho. I do think
No.
Jericho should be in the battle royal. Don't think he should win it.
No.
Um,
He can't win it. He can't.
I mean, if so, here's my thing that I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they're just going to give it to Mox. Because if they do give it to Mox, I could see them having Jericho win the match and then have it be Mox versus Jericho. Because obviously there's a star match there. It's the first two champions in the company history going against each other. And it's, again, I'm not a fan of it. But I mean, if they're going to go the route where they want to give the belt to Mox, I mean, Mox is really over.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
Tony Khan has made it clear that he plans his things out very far in advance. I wouldn't be surprised if before this Punk situation, if he had his next four champions planned. Like it would not surprise me. And because of that, maybe that influences his decisions. Again, Tony Khan is not known to alter long-term storytelling.
Oh yeah.
Like again, like Ray Phoenix got hurt and they sat on that Julia Hart turn for
Yeah.
3 months. Like that was something that they waited for. They were not going to pull the trigger until they were in the spot that they wanted to have. So like we can predict things all we want and we could say what Tony Khan's going to do. At the end of the day, like if Tony Khan has a plan, he's probably not going to stray from that plan as much as he can help it. He's not going to want to. So if he plans on Danielson or if he plans on MJF being a champion in the next like 2 years, we also need to kind of be aware of that possibility. He might just need a guy to hold the belt for 6 months. That might be what happens. Like let's say we don't know anything about CM Punk's injury. We don't know how long it's going to be. He's going to be out. We don't know how long the mend on the surgery is. Surgeries are different for different depending on the injury. Could be a surgery where he's good to go in 3 weeks. Could be a surgery where he's out for 6 months. Could be a surgery where he's out for a year because of
Yeah.
rehab. We don't know. I mean, the fact that he's walking on it with no boot, with no crutches, like you gotta feel like it's probably not on the longer end. Now that I'm like sobering out of my sadness,
Yeah.
I'm starting to think a little bit more logically. You have to think that that's gotta play into it. If Tony Khan just needs a guy to hold the belt for a month and a half, 2 months, 6 months until Punk can come back and start his storylines, I could see them just being like, let's just give it to Mox. The guy's a day one here. He's always done the work. He's extremely over. He's not in our future plans to be a champion. Like I could just see them go with Mox too. Again, it's just
Yeah.
there's a lot of possibilities, and that's the beauty of AEW.
Yeah, I mean, just about any of these guys that we've been naming could easily win this and face Mox and lose, you know what I mean? But that's what I love about this. We have a lot of guys who could, believably win this battle royal. And then honestly, they could all believably win a match with Mox, even though he hasn't lost I don't think he has lost a match by pin clean ever, or at least in like a year or two.
Yeah, I don't think he has. Moxley does not lose. Moxley, I think he's lost total of 3 matches in the company history. He
Yeah, and I
does
think
not
one was
lose.
like a roll up after something weird, and one was Kenny Omega hitting him with the microphone. Like he's never lost clean, as far as I know. So it'd be interesting.
Jordan says Cody's stipulation said he couldn't challenge for the AEW championship. What is that in regards to?
Yeah, what
I
was that in
knew
regards to?
It said nothing about the. Cody's not coming back. Stop it.
Oh,
Stop it, right? Don't. Come on, Jordan. Jordan, like, hold on. Jordan, I love Jordan. He's our mod, and he is always killing it with his comments, with his info. If we need some research done, he'll do it for us. This may be the worst take in the history of Jordan. This is an awful take.
He's just doing that because he knows you hate Cody. I know it.
I would assume so. I would, if Cody were to come through the forbidden door, I would boo this man. I would boo this man so hard.
Oh yeah.
Again, I mean, like in a few years, we'll see how I feel, because this could all just be some super, super, super long booking still, where it's like the idea is to make Cody like come back to AEW and be like, I'm the WWE guy coming back. You guys like ex WWE guys. We'll see what happens in like 2-3 years when he's done with WWE. We'll see what happens. But for right now, until then, in the moment, fuck Cody Rhodes. But yeah, I would not have. I can't imagine anybody in that situation allowing that to happen. Tony Khan would not let a WWE guy win his world title, even the interim version. And WWE would not let their guy go in there just to lose the world title. Like, see, like this is now I'm just being trolled. The trolls are out and they're in full display. They're trying to. Jordan's trying to hit me when I'm at my lowest.
Yeah, he's hitting you in your lowest point, man. I get it.
It's like rubbing salt. It's salt in the wound. He's like, hey, you know how your favorite CM Punk is out? You know how like Cody Rhodes used to be one of your favorites, and then like he just fucking became not because of whether it be character or real. Yeah, he just became not.
Remember how he was your favorite till he wasn't?
Yeah. Jordan wants to watch that Broken Tables post show. Oh yeah, there'll be one. There'll be a broken table in it. This table that I'm currently doing the show on would be broken.
Yo,
I would ask.
Speaking of broken table, on G4 TV, Adam Cole was playing some weird game against somebody. I don't know if that was for the BTE championship or not, but this dude beat Adam Cole in this game, and he jumped and put himself through a table. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. That may win broken table of the week.
So I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to go back and watch it. I am so stoked that G4 worked with AEW. Yeah. I was worried that they were not going to because of Xavier Woods. I was always super worried about that because like Austin Creed shows up regularly on that channel.
Yeah.
And like I just was worried that they wouldn't work with him. But luckily that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I've seen him play games with Kenny and stuff like that, so I wasn't too worried about it. But it was in the back of my mind.
But that's like that's unofficial stuff. Like we're talking like in terms of official products. Like you'll never see a contracted WWE guy working with a contracted AEW guy on like an official capacity of any sort. It's just it's not going to happen.
The Forbidden Door has a Cody alarm.
Oh shit! I have a Cody alarm. Fucking
for real.
Cody Rhodes shows up outside my house. It's like fucking. I'm calling the cops.
All right, so let's wrap up this episode of Rampage here. It's time for the main event. The promos before the main event, Dante's and Matt Sydal's was fine, but Dan Lambert, he was like I don't remember the context of it, but he said if the queen had balls, she'd be the king. I laughed so hard for this, and I really, really needed that after the CM Punk announcement. I was like laughing and still semi-depressed at the same time. That was hilarious. I've never heard anyone say that saying before. So next time somebody says, well, what if this or if that, I'm going to be like, yeah, well, if the queen had balls, she'd be the king. That was great.
A great line. I missed the pre-main event interview because I was getting ready for the podcast. Again,
Yeah.
when CM Punk spoke and he was like, I was like, I'm done. Like it's probably the only time ever, like I can't see me ever in history being like, yeah, I'm done with watching AEW for the day. I'm ready to call it a day. And that was definitely what happened. It was like, okay, I know the main event's coming up, but I'm just gonna get ready for the podcast so we can go live as soon as Jeff's ready to go. So I started I had to go upstairs and grab the laptop and start grabbing stuff, and I set up the light and everything, and I was like, okay, well, yeah. And meanwhile, it's funny because the wife and the guests we had over, they're still watching the main event, and they're like, oh, so this match doesn't matter. I was like, well, it's for a title, so it does matter, but I can't.
I watched the match, but I didn't write anything down, and the whole time I was just numb. I was just watching it
Yeah, well, so here's what happened, right? Because I attempted. So pardon the bad handwriting. I'm left-handed, so just deal with it. But so if you look on here, oh, is this backwards? It might be backwards. So here I write segment 5, CM Punk, right? And then I get to segment 6, I write segment 6, and I couldn't even write the name of the match. Normally I'll write TNT Championship, Scorpio Sky defending against Dante Martin. Nothing. I wrote segment 6, and then I was like,
Here, I'll show you what I wrote.
yeah, please do. I'm gonna be on a bit of a delay because I can't see you on Discord, but
so
I'll look at the live stream and
I wrote great match, but I didn't care.
I don't even know if this was a great match. I don't even know.
It was. If you will go back and watch it, it was a great match. It was what you would expect from Dante Martin and Scorpio Sky. It was great, but I was numb. I was literally just staring at my TV
Yeah, I see your notes. That was more than what I wrote. So, yeah. So I mean, I was. You can talk about the main event if you want. I didn't catch it.
I didn't see. I mean, I don't remember any of it. It wasn't. I was just like you, man. I was in La La Land or whatever you want to call it, Twilight Zone. It was too much. Hearing the surgery word, I never hearing that for anybody in any sport.
No, you don't. It's
just hope he comes back better than ever.
Yep.
And when he comes back, whoever's got that belt, that's going to be an amazing belt versus belt match. I know that whoever it is, it's going to be great. So we shall.
You want
see.
to know something that really makes me sad? So, I bought the new CM Punk World Champion shirt. It hasn't even shipped yet.
I would cancel it, to be honest.
Oh, I'm not kidding.
No, he is still the title. He's still the champ. No, that's all right. Yeah.
You're out of your goddamn mind. Even if CM Punk relinquished the title,
that was just a knee-jerk reaction. He's still the title. He's still the champ.
If anything, I would probably never wear the shirt. If he retired,
yeah.
If he was like, I'm retiring because of how bad the injury is, I probably would have framed the shirt. I probably would have done whatever it takes to meet CM Punk and be like, can you please sign this shirt? I would pay whatever money. I would do whatever it took.
Yeah.
I would find a way. I would email him, tweet him. I'd be like, hey, look, can you I understand I'm just a nobody, but please sign this shirt. It's super important to me. And I would have framed it if he had retired. That being said, he's not retiring, so I'm going to wear the shirt probably. But man, yeah, it sucks because it didn't even ship. Yep. Pro Wrestling Tees is super backed up right now.
Yeah.
Because
that actually reminds me.
Sucks.
That actually reminds me of the MJF super fan. I don't know her name. I keep forgetting to look at the name on Twitter, but she's the one who spent thousands of dollars to fly across the country to see MJF in Vegas. She bought 4 tickets to the meet and greet just so that she could spend 4 times the amount of time to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
So she's borderline jumping off the ledge, I'm not a fan anymore. She doesn't know how she wants to feel yet. But it turns out that there's another show that they announced for Rochester, New York, or in New York where she lives. And people
Mhm.
are like, "Well, what if they do something really cool for you there?" And she's like, "I don't know. I can't figure it out." Like, so
Yeah, no,
that
definitely. I
would be
mean, she's
cool.
upset, and she's allowed to be upset. Obviously, I mean that's a
Oh yeah,
really sucky thing. And again, like we don't know at what point that situation was a work or a shoot, but like I mean, you got to think it wasn't a work at that point.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but it's rough. Big Teeth says it too in the chat. Like that is rough, and
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if I was her, I mean, honestly, if I was her, I like the fact that you get to say that like you were part of like a storyline. You know what I mean? Like, because this is a storyline. I would be like, I'd be down for it if someone was like Rome, like, would you let CM Punk like curse you out? Like, absolutely.
You
Or like, would you
framed
let
your
CM like,
sign that was on TV during Punk's return entrance. You were
yeah,
at the Rampage? I feel like he's told us this before, but I don't remember that. Man, that'd be sick,
I don't
Jordan, to
remember
be
him
at that
saying that, but
Rampage.
again, well, I think Jordan's from Chicago, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, okay.
I think he mentioned that at one point, so at some point in the past.
I just framed our Adam Cole and Britt Baker photos we got.
Nice, nice. Yeah, if I were to ever get a
But
meaningful one like that, I would frame it too.
so yeah, again, I hate that this Punk thing kind of overshadowed everything afterwards, but didn't really pay attention to this main event. Do apologize for anybody that was hoping to get like a good recap of the match. I'm sure you'll be able to see some really nice clips of it on the YouTube and the Twitter there, but man, just after that Punk announcement, it was tough to watch any more wrestling and to care about any more wrestling at that point. So
Yeah, I mean, like just the record. I'm probably not gonna watch Elevation or Dark this week. I'm kind of, I need some time to kind of get
yeah, I
back
need to
in the
recover.
mood.
Es-
Yeah, I'm
Especially
just bummed out.
if Wyndham shows up at Hell in a Cell. I definitely won't be watching Darker Elevation.
Yeah, I mean, Dark and Elevation are like most weeks. It's like they're fun to watch, but they're not really must see.
No.
It's just good fun.
Yeah.
And I don't really ever miss Darker Elevation. I mean, at the very least, I usually have it like on in the background. But like this week, like I don't know, I might just be like, I'm just gonna bury myself in video games until
Yeah.
Wednesday and
F-
just like just play video games.
for anyone who doesn't know, with Dark and Elevation, one of the best parts of that show is the chat when they're live. That live chat is really really fun to actually participate in and like pay attention to because everybody in that chat is really funny and there's like nobody in there that's being a total asshole. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, the AEW community, like the real fans, not like the there is a toxic subset of AEW fans. I mean, but like every fandom has that subset of toxicity. But like the real AEW fans, we're just people that fucking love wrestling, pro
Yeah.
wrestling, and just love what we watch, and we love AEW, and it's just great. Jordan does live in Illinois, 4 hours south of Chicago. Drove to it. Used to go to ROH in 2004 when Punk was there in Chicago.
Nice. I'll be at
And Big
Forbidden
T
Door if you're
asking
gonna be in the area, bro.
Big T asking what the sign says. I want to know what the sign says too.
I think I've seen it on his Twitter. I forget. I think it's just like a Punk is all elite sign, maybe, but I'm not sure. I know I've seen it though.
Yeah, I might go back and watch him come in. I might watch the first dance tonight. Like or
Dude,
tomorrow or over the weekend. I might.
if I go back and
I
watch it,
need it.
my favorite version is the version where you can hear the guy in the booth talking to the camera guys to switch the cameras. Dude, that is one of the coolest behind the scenes things I have ever seen, and they haven't done it again. I really, really want them to do that again.
Yeah, it's a cool moment. It's definitely a cool like kind of peek behind it.
Yeah.
But like, nah, man, I just the actual show. Oh man, like that night, I'll never forget that night as long as I live. Honestly,
CM Punk to AEW confirmed. Yep.
yeah, that was such an amazing night. I'll never forget. I had a friend come over and he watches Rampage, but he's like, "Are you sure CM Punk's gonna be there?" And then I like sent him all of the evidence about CM Punk being there and all the things that were
Yeah.
said, and he was just like, "All right, I'll be there Friday night at 10 o'clock."
Yeah, I was like, I've never been 99.9999% so sure about something in my life. That's how I felt that night.
Well, that was the thing. I remember texting Forrest about it, and I had a countdown because if you remember, Fightful broke the news like a month and a half out. Like it was like 2 months before it happened, where Fightful's like CM Punk and Bryan Danielson are signing with AEW, and like I remember every day I would text Forrest and I would have a like a no shit like a daily countdown for CM Punk, like for the first like I just had a daily countdown like 30 days, 29 days, 28 days, 27 days. Um and then it was funny, like obviously you could tell behind me I'm a huge Zelda fan. I remember texting Forrest when there was 3 days left. I did Dawn of the first day for Majora's Mask, and then Dawn of the second day, and then Dawn of the final day. And then
Nice.
I even did like the night of the final day when it was like right before Rampage. And like yeah, that was an awesome moment. That's like that may be my favorite moment of all time as a pro wrestling fan. Like if you ask me to pick like what's the number one moment, it's that night.
The Punk
It's the
return.
first dance.
Yeah.
It's the Punk return to pro wrestling first dance. So again, like obviously I'm super upset. I mean, I've been cheered up a little bit. Doing the show is great and everyone in the chat has been awesome. So it's fun. Pro wrestling's still fun, and AEW is going to be awesome, and they're going to be okay. Again, like if I could say this after CM Punk, I could say it after anybody. They'll be okay, and Dynamite next week's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be a great show, But it definitely stings a little bit.
Yeah. Stung quite a bit, tell you that much. I don't think I've ever had anything happen in a wrestling match or in a wrestling show that made me not want to watch the rest of the show. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we had
Well,
I'm not talking like bad booking stuff. Like,
yeah, okay. I
I've
was gonna
never
say
had
not.
like just a random something, told to me on the screen where I was like, I don't feel like watching this anymore. It was definitely weird.
I would have had Punk go on last. It was like I
I
know that they
said,
don't want to
yeah,
end on an angle. They want to do matches, but I feel so bad for Scorpio Sky and Dante Martin. That Rampage main event had to have been like the least watched main event in Rampage history.
yeah.
Like I want to see the demo. I want to see the minute to minute ratings there, the quarterly hour ratings where he's like where it's like, yeah, when Punk got off the TV, people just turned it off. Everyone on wrestling Twitter was turning it off too, because I was on Twitter a little bit at that point,
How
tweeted
do
out
you
that I was
still
not
have the
okay.
frozen ice cream bars, Jordan? How is it
That's
frozen?
well, he probably like I don't know, maybe he had a cooler at the show or
Yeah, did you
something.
have a cooler and throw that shit in there? Jesus.
Well, he's 4 hours from home, so like maybe he stopped at Walmart after the first dance and grabbed like a cooler and some ice. That's believable.
Yeah, I'm just where I'm from in Vegas, that ice cream bar would have lasted like 5 minutes after leaving the arena.
Oh no, if I was there, I would have kept everything from that night. I would have kept the shirts. I would have kept everything.
Yep.
That's the funny thing too. They did an episode of Rampage. They had him open the show. You know that they had an hour of wrestling afterwards, just so the merch stand could stay open for an hour. um,
Uh,
Big T in the chat. Can you imagine when he comes back? He's gonna rip the roof off the building. Absolutely, man.
oh, he's saying rest in
Absolutely.
peace to the roof of that building.
Oh, see, I just saw rip. Yeah, you're. I guess yeah. Same thing though.
Yeah, same thing. Rip
Um,
that roof.
Advogado in the chat. It was a good fight. Jericho saying Dante a future champion. Maybe he's only 21. Definitely in skill. He's definitely a future champion in skill. He needs to get either a manager or get a little bit better on the mic first, though. In my opinion.
Yeah, he is absolutely atrocious on the mic. I struggle to think of anybody worse than him on the mic at the moment.
Oh, there you go. He put in a 44-ounce cup with ice. There you go. That's
Nice.
that's some next level thinking right
Yeah,
there.
that's good idea. Probably
He's
had to go
playing.
pay the full like $13 for the cup too.
Jordan's playing. Yeah, but it's worth it. Jordan's
Oh
probably
yeah,
playing like 4D chess over there.
hell yeah. So when he comes back, Jordan, you should put that shit up on eBay. Somebody will give you like $500 for that thing to eat it.
Again, I wouldn't get rid of any of it. I would keep it for the rest of my life. Grandchildren will be like, "Papa, what is this ice cream bar with an expiration date of 2023 in your freezer?" Just
Yeah.
don't you dare touch it.
It's just at one point it's unedible. Make your money off of it. It's food.
Ah, man, hold on to it till the day I die. Then they could sell it.
Some
Whoever wants
crazy
it out,
YouTuber who
available.
eats old stuff might pay you like 10 grand for it. You never know. But all right, let's get this one wrapped up. I'm depressing myself the more we're talking about this, but we all wish CM Punk the best. We hope he recovers as quickly as possible from the surgery. Hope it's nothing. Hope they don't find anything, more severe once they get it opened up. Hopefully they just slap some steel plates in there and we wrap it up and get back to business, So we'll see. We got that Battle Royale coming up next Wednesday to face Jon Moxley for the right to the interim championship at Forbidden Door, so that should be freaking awesome. Penta facing PCO next Friday. That should be good. PCO is like 100 years old, but he's a freaking zombie, so that should be cool. Watched eBay not selling? Didn't think so.
Yeah, the value's probably.
Yeah. All right. Well, besides the devastating news, another great episode of Rampage as always, back in its original time slot. I got nothing more to say, man. I'm just gonna go to bed with my tail tucked between my legs, and we'll see what happens throughout the week. Hopefully, we get some more good news. Maybe the bone's not as broken as whatever, but we shall see.
Yeah, usually for like the sake of like a surprise, like I feel like they try to kind of keep it from people, but like man, I really hope somebody gets the scoop on how long he's gonna be out. Like I hope that maybe Sean Ross Sapp or Meltzer or like Zarian, somebody. I really hope somebody gets a scoop on how long he's gonna be out because
Yeah.
like I don't want I almost don't want to be surprised. I wanna know when he's coming back.
Yeah,
Like
I
I'm
don't
willing
even
to
think
wait.
he's going to know until they actually get into the surgery. Sometimes when
Oh
they open it
sure,
up,
yeah.
they find something else that may have happened that they didn't see on the x-ray. So
Mhm.
probably as soon as the surgery's done is when we'll get, hey, it's going to be 5, 6, 7 weeks now, from this point. We don't know, though, so.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, again, I hope that maybe we can at least learn what the injury is, like
Yeah,
just something where we can get a like kind of just an expectation. That's all I want because like that expectation is huge. Like it's one thing for like Kenny Omega, he's like, I'm gonna go get healthy. I'll see you guys in 2 years. Like
yeah,
that's different. Like you know what I mean? Like that's like, hey, whenever you're ready, man, come back. Like
yeah,
no, like this is different. Like I want to at least know. And again, it's none of my business, none of any of our business, but like selfishly, I really want to know what the
true.
injury is so we can like find out. Like maybe again, we don't know. Maybe they're just doing an interim champion because it's a small thing that just they need to do for the sake of his health, his well being in the future. Um, and maybe it's just like, hey, like look, you got to get this done. It's not bad now, but it will be bad if you don't get it fixed. And maybe he's only out for 7 weeks, 8 weeks. That would be pretty
Yeah,
ideal, I think. But
yeah.
obviously there's a reverse timetable to that too.
I'm thinking now a couple pay-per-views, couple months from now is all out, huh? August something?
Yeah,
If
yeah. I
he's
mean,
only if it's anything less than 8 weeks, we could see him back it all out. So that'd be awesome.
yeah. I mean, it's in Chicago.
And Big T says at least we have FTR and Bret Hart next week. Yeah, that should be good. That's not in AEW, correct? That's in some
No,
indie. Yeah.
it's in
There's a
an indie,
chance I'll
which
get to
makes
see
you.
it, or I'll probably have to watch it on YouTube. Somebody will, post some clips of it, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man. Go ahead and close us out.
All right. Well, this has been episode 42 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribe or a follow, depending on where you find us. Thank you to listening. Thank you for listening to us on. Excuse me, geez, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can follow us on Twitter at Broken Table Show or on Facebook and Instagram at the Broken Tables Podcast. We go live on YouTube following every single AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and even pay-per-views. Just a reminder that Forbidden Door is coming up. Wasn't really in a joking mood, but Forrest will be losing to me in a Broken Predictions Championship um,
One on
competition, a
one.
match in a one-on-one. He's going to lose again, and no sunglasses today because I'm not feeling it, but he is going to lose, so do not worry about that. But the prediction show will happen probably the week of, and it'll be great. Thank you to everyone who stuck with us on the stream, and see you guys next time.
Right on. Top guys out.